카서데 즉 홉칼이야 수마데시시 야 규베규 셰셰 셰더 치우시 파르샤 치우게샤 다 미장 상월로미 탐지다 대배 나페지 슈긴된데 열이 가서 치료도 하네 더 자샤 죄송 아야 다 들이대 안다 잔쇼가 되더리 그래서 설가고 되게 엔 때문에 제제 들이 샤셔이 죄송 엔 투사 야데 초티 된샤나 죄송 신도신다身体主上是不是的？随着。呀，我们什么我就说的，什么，但讲说的这个单词怪不得。
So for the first part of salutation and going for refuge and generation of the mind has been already completed. So the master is transformed in the form of White Heruka, which is white in color with one face and two hands, holding a red vase which is filled with nectar, and on its lap there is a Vajrayogini. So has tea already served. This is the tea offering. So the red color Vajrayogini sits on the lap of the White Heruka. Vajrayogini with one face and two hands, holding the skull which is filled with nectar and embracing the male consort. And the male consort sits in the Vajra posture with crossed legs, and the female consort in the Padma posture, and both are ordained. Both are ornamented with skulls and skeletons. So this is the preparation ritual.
This is one. The laws of the Namji Jokiku.
There is one verse here. This verse actually comes right after the place where we have to do the recitation of the mantra. This verse is actually a salutation verse to the White Heruka. The first verse actually speaks about the three qualities and the three magnificent qualities pertaining to the body, speech and mind of the Heruka. And the second verse actually pays salutation to the Heruka, which is the supreme of all the deities, bestowing the longevity. And the third verse presents about the postures and the gestures of the Heruka, which is holding a skull which is filled with the nectar. And I pay salute to this Heruka. So this is the third verse of salutation.
Duzi Kama Red Zimba, Tepana, Doji Nejo Mama, Sheji Chani, Toba, the Duzi Kawan, Yabla Cuba, Yab Doji Kirum, the Yupe Kirum, Niga, Rubata, Rubuche, Gengi Kimba, Tini, Kitawa, Om Jumba, Tuga Hole, Setu, Shiba Chenta, Zaho, Pamaho, Tamzipata Nisu Never, I have Tuga Hole, Setu, Gawari, Makoje, Tent, Om Penzakula, Sapari, Aragan, Bandi, Pube, Aloki, the Shadapa. Ubatan Yeshiva Chan, Zao, Mama, Tanzibata Nisu never give a lion, Togo, or Nakoje Chan, on Pensacola Sabar, Aragan, Bandi, Bube, and the Shadabadisa so. Yeshiva Rimakota Jebe, Wamba, Buddha, so the Nepembechu, Joe, and one Chugiti, Lutam Jagan, Tomatam, Chula Maya, Lubalo, one make you Wonderland, Tinila, Timber. Omishiri Tata Sambara Sawa Buddha Buddhisato Aragan Pandi Ube Dub Alogi Gende Nun Shauda Badisa Sova Omishiri Tata Sambara Sawa Buddha Buddhisato Oma Abu Rangan Kubani Shendun Rubika Kozoba Chugungan Sila Polo Dumba Yun
Demi. Shendun Sena Pedro Jakiting, Pumbo Junde, Guji Kajala, Sundor, Sunda, Cherisha. Oh, yeah. 是哈，这驴怎么不懂了？不懂特别咋回事？驴，就是是好，我们这不是好，是好，是好。 呀。So we're still in the preparation ritual, and this is a section of offering salutation or praise to the Heruka deity. Next is offering the internal offerings and the ritual cakes. Now having completed the self-generation here,
So next is the offering of the mandala by the disciple. And here we're going to do the White Heruka initiation for the long life. I have taken the initiation long before. And for a long time I've been doing the practice and doing the recitation of the text for every morning. And also I do a bit of the breath meditation. Focus on the wind, flow of energy and so on. This deity, the White Heruka deity, is actually especially beneficial for this degenerated time. And it is said that if we practice and take the initiation and follow it, we will get a lot of faith. Generally, the location is described in pertaining to the idea of the existence of Mount Heru. But since we do not believe in the existence of Mount Heru, so it is difficult to identify. But these concepts are actually taught at a certain time where the students and the people at that time need such kind of concept. So generally the three deities of the Samaja, Vajra, Bhairava and so on are really uncommon practice. And for the Guhya Samaja, of course, the lineage comes from the Nagarjuna himself, and he has himself composed many texts pertaining to the Guhya Samaja traditions. And so this actually proves us about the origin of this text, the authenticity of these initiations, and also which is again backed by the valid reasons. When it comes to the Vajra Bhairava and the Yamandaga initiations, I don't know about in India at that time, but in Tibet this has become very popular. So today we are going to do the White Heruka initiation, and as we have did the front generation of the White Heruka in the front of us, and also the White Heruka in the vows, and also in the skull cup. In the skull cup we generate the Vajra Yogini, which is red in color. So this is the concluding auspicious prayers for the teaching of the Bodhgaya here, teachings at the Bodhgaya here, and so we will do the long life empowerment through this deity, and we will conclude the DCS teaching here. So in order to receive the blessing of the long life empowerment, most importantly, as it is evident, present in the prayer verses for going for refuge, say I go to Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha and so on. So through these verses, as it says that to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha I go for refuge by giving and so forth. So in this way go for refuge to the triple gems, and also generated the mind for enlightenment in Bodhgaya, which is the land of enlightenment of the Buddha, and we are all assembled here for a time, and we're receiving the teachings together. And today here we are receiving the Heruka initiation all together, but due to how you shape your motivation, so some students or some disciples may receive the initiations as per it is present in the text. But some disciples may receive or may take the initiation only for the purpose of this life, such as having a long life and a healthy life and so on. But actual motivation has been, as we discussed before, that as long as the space remains and as long as the sentient beings remains, so based on such altruistic intention of Bodhichitta,
So we have to take this initiation, and your motivation has to be such that from now on until the space remains, until all the sentient beings become enlightened, may I be able to be of benefit to the other sentient beings. And one of the main reasons is that we have taken the human rebirth, which is blessed with all advantages and leisures, and also we have received the Buddha's teaching. So therefore, we have to work as possible and make effort to be of benefit to other people. So in order to benefit other people, to be a maximum benefit to other people, so if we are able to live long, to have a long life, then it will be benefit for other peoples. So that is the main purpose. So in order to achieve that supreme purpose, so we are receiving this long life initiation. And the lineage comes from Lama Umapa's, Master Tsongkhapa's master. And please repeat after me this verse. So this mandala offering. So having offered the mandala, and next is the supplication to the Guru. Please repeat after me. Please pattern upon me this initiation from you, Vajra Master. So supplication is completed here, to actually requesting the the master to bestow upon us the initiation. Next is taking the Bodhichitta vows and Tantra vows. When it comes to the blessings, so I think Bodhichitta vows are of course relevant, but generally we do not need to take the Tantra vows. But of course it may be helpful to restore our vows that we have taken before. So as far as the Bodhichitta vow is concerned, we have taken it on numerous occasions. So Bodhichitta, the altruistic mind intended for enlightenment, which is aiming for the benefit of all the other sentient beings. So this is the supreme medicine to eliminate all the illness and the sufferings, and also to accomplish all the purposes and so on. As Shantideva has stated in the first chapter of the Bodhisattva Charya, that all the Buddhas in the past have contemplated and found that this is the ultimate source and the way to become enlightened. And the competitiveness mind, and also anger and hatred, and these are all the delusions that makes one unhappy. But once we practice the great compassion and bodhicitta, of course it is focusing on the purpose of the other people, but at the same time this reduces the rising of the angers and other delusions within us. So therefore it is stated that bodhicitta is the one medicine which, once taken, will be able to fulfill both the purposes of the self and the other. And the same case is coming from the Nagarjuna's text, and also we have to read Shantideva's Bodhisattva Charya as much as possible, and also the mind within us, which is actually very stiff at the moment, which is similar to the diamonds. We have to train the mind and make it soften it, and practice the bodhicitta. And as we say that the wisdom focuses on the enlightenment, and the compassion focuses on the sentient being, so this is really wonderful. And it is important that we should achieve an understanding that there is a certain thing called liberation, which is the free of all the defilements and the sufferings. And all the defilements, especially the obscuration to omniscient mind and its latencies and imprints. So these are all arises or came through the self-graspings, the grasping of true existence and so on. But these mind, the true graspings, and these defilements are actually wrong perceptions. They do not have any foundations of the ground. But on the other hand, the virtuous mind, such as the compassions and the other things, so they are positives and they have base. And they are backed with the valid cognitions. And once we practice and train further, then we can achieve the ultimate form of these minds. So these qualities are actually reside on the very consciousness nature of our mind. So therefore, they may not be permanent and so on, but sometimes in the text they are referred to as permanent, because as long as our mental consciousness itself remains, these qualities, which are actually the very nature of the mind, will also continue to remain. So in this way, if we think about the beneficial qualities of all these compassion and other qualities, then we will able to generate rejoice and appreciation to these qualities. So once we are able to develop appreciation and rejoice in our own works, then we will generally gain a kind of interest to engage in these activities, which will ultimately lead to the fulfillment of our ultimate benefits, which is the liberation. And at this time, of course, for the internal ornament we have received, we are bestowed with the human rebirth, and for the outer facilities, of course, we have received many initiations and teachings from the great masters. So we are blessed with both the facilities. And for when it comes to receive initiations and the teachings from the master, as we discussed before, we have to receive it from a master which possesses 10 qualities, as the qualities are mentioned from the different texts. And at this moment, we have also seen the master. We met our master. So the only thing left is to make effort from one side. So if we are able to make effort, then we are assembled with all the necessities in order to practice. So most important, at this moment, in front of us, visualize the manifestation of the Heruka in front of you, and the master who is also in the form of the White Heruka with consort, and on the space visualize the presence of all the lineage masters. And with these deities, also visualize the presence of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of you. And the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are similar to a mother which really loves her only child. But since the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas may have the hook to take us, to liberate us from the samsara, but we do need from our side an aspiration and a wish for enlightenment. And these are the qualities. So if we have these qualities within us, then we will be able to, led by these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, our masters. So visualize the presence of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of you, and from them you're receiving the Bodhichitta vow. So I think we can contemplate on the Bodhichitta vow in this way. So if we are going to do some more extensive, we will do the 7-limb verse. This is the verse for 7 limbs. Prostrations, purification, offering, and rejoicing, and dedication.
최진小宝的接受也让共学所，给我穷色大的介绍吧，他们就做没讲究全部我。
当然呢，这就是个多么重要。
So next is the generation of the Bodhichitta vow, and we had a lot of discussion about this before, so I want to repeat. Please repeat after me. I go for I take in my heart the enlightenment.
창조 초기 semne 기기네 sem전통자 다전정도 일 창조 최종 이용 제버기 돌아가면서 산제 돌아서.
And now I have become a Buddhist child. So please repeat for the second time to Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. I go for refuge to the three jewels. I confess individually all my negativities. I rejoice in the merit of all beings. I take hold with my mind the perfect state of a Buddha. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, Dhamma and Supreme Assembly. And I do so to attain an enlightened mind in order to fulfill the aims of myself and others. I shall develop a supreme enlightened motive and toward all sentient beings. And may I become a Buddha to benefit all. And when we complete it for the third time, the repetition, and I'm sure that we all have already generated the Bodhisattva vows. So this vow, visualize that it has been enhanced further. And today, on this auspicious moment and on the sacred place of the Bodhgaya, we all get a great opportunity to take the Bodhichitta, Bodhisattva vows, and so the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in front of us will be really glad. So with such kind of motivation, please repeat for the third time. I go for refuge to the three jewels. I confess individually all my negativities. I rejoice in the merit of all beings. I take hold with my mind the state of Buddha. I go for refuge. I am enlightened to the Buddha, Dhamma and Supreme Assembly. And I do so to attain an enlightened mind in order to fulfill the aims of myself and others. I shall develop a supreme enlightened motive and toward all sentient beings. My invited guests, I shall act with supreme enlightened content. May I become a Buddha to benefit all. So this completes taking the Bodhisattva vows. And it is stated in the Bodhisattva Charya that all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the past have also taken the Bodhisattva vows, and they have trained in the same way. So at this moment, it will not be possible for us to train in the same level as the great bodhisattvas, but we have to make a start, and as the house is built with starting with one brick, so similarly we shouldn't feel low esteemed but feel encouraged. And when we see the great noble activities of these great bodhisattvas, we should never feel low esteemed or feel that I could not do that, but we have to plant the seed, and with that we will be able to release the fruits in future. Next is taking the Tantra vows. So we will do it from the from one verse. So White Heruka with the male and female consort, and the master who is also in the form of the White Heruka, and the Vajrayogini in the skull. And also all the Tantra practitioners in the past have taken these vows and has engaged in all these activities and have gained the great enlightenment and so on. And also the present ones are going to be enlightened, and in future also they have to follow the same way. So may I will train in the same way, and please repeat to take to take these vows. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please give me your attention. From this time onwards until my enlightenment shall develop a sacred, peerless Bodhichitta, just as the protective Buddhas of the 3 times have done to secure their enlightenment. I shall uphold all the general and specific Tantra vows and commitment of the 5 Buddha families without exceptions. May all sentient beings be endowed with bliss. May all sentient beings be parted from suffering. May all sentient beings be parted from bliss. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please give me your attention. This for the second time. From this time onwards until my enlightenment shall develop a sacred, peerless Bodhichitta, just as the protector Buddhas of the 3 times have done to insecure the enlightenment. And for the 3rd time, when we completed the repetition, please visualize as you have received a profound Tantra vow. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please give me your attention, saying with your name, from this time onwards until my enlightenment shall develop a sacred, peerless Bodhichitta, just as the protector Buddhas of the 3 times have done to insecure their enlightenment. I shall uphold all the general and specific Tantra vows and commitments of the 5 Buddha families without exception. May all sentient beings be placed in the state of equality, unshaken by duality. So disciples are rising in the form of the deity.
All day.
So after the Bodhisattva vows and the Tantra vows, now the disciples are asked to visualize themselves or rise themselves in the form of the White Heruka deity. As we have discussed before, so when we do recite this mantra, Om Subhava Shuddha Savadharma Sabhava Shuddha Ham, and here we have to meditate on emptiness. So if you have memorized the supplemental middle way philosophy by Chandakriti and other texts, then you have to think on this emptiness here. And the 3 great syllogism that is put forward in the text, that the meditative equipoise will be a source for the disintegration of the forms and so on. So if we combine all this together, when it comes to the presentation of emptiness, I'm not able to remember that the line. So having understood the emptiness and also the conventional realities both together, so we will, with the power of the emptiness, we will graduate it further to the state of liberation. And with this understanding of the emptiness and achieving of the liberation, we will be also able to generate compassion for all the sentient beings. And at the end, the verse of the supplementary middle way philosophy of the 6th chapter, it is said that by the 2 wings of the convention, understanding of the convention reality and the emptiness, we will be able to fly to the offshore of enlightenment. So someone who has to who wants to meditate on emptiness, of course, we have to think of these verses every day. As by the two merits of accumulation and the wisdom, we will be able to go from this shore to the offshore of the enlightenment. So similarly, by two accumulations, we were able to attain the two forms of the Buddha's body, the form body and the wisdom body. So this has to be visualized at the time of the recitation of the verse Om Subhava Shuddha Sarvadhamma Subhava Shuddhaham. So these are the purposes of meditating the emptiness. So if you meditate on emptiness only with the sole purpose of eliminating your defilements within you, that will be also very small purpose, a small aim. And within the emptiness, the hum syllable, which is the white color, and the hum syllable, which is the red color. So at this time you have generated within you the understanding of the emptiness as much as possible, which the wisdom which is rise within you, and when you contemplate it on that very deeply, so at this time all the other understandings, the conventional understanding, the mind focus on those things will drift away from your attention. So that's why it is said within the emptiness, the hum syllable, the white syllable, and the free syllable in the red color. And through these syllables, all the disciples, the deity which is white in color, holding the vase, which is filled with the nectar, and the skull cup which is filled with the where the Vajrayogini is. So this here the disciples are actually led into the mouth of the Vajra Master, which is in the form of the White Heruka.
Lama Umapa yoyumdo. Kiya's got a suit. Dimare. Dirva. Shanda did something there. Oh. Daniela. So, Malumsano. That didn't
Next is the offering of the flower.
아무튼 요거 좀 가고 싶어. 그죠? 누군가 라면 두고는 스트 뒤지기 래 두주고 두고는 스포트 맞죠 주주자와
The lights are radiated from the heart of the master, and the Heruka which is generated in front of you. So through that Heruka, the boundless lights are radiated from the heart of the Heruka. And the deity is invited from the heart of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas which are in front of you. And as we have explained before, the White Heruka, and first they have generated the mind for enlightenment, then they have studied in the path and they become enlightened. And same train has been taken by all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And the main purpose or the reason why they took the Bodhisattva vows and so on is actually for the benefit of we sentient beings. So now visualize that this deity has been dissolved within your heart. The three spots of your crown, your neck, and then your heart are blessed with the three syllables. So the deity has been dissolved into the body of the disciple. Next is in order to receive the initiation of the concentration, making supplication to the master. Please repeat. All the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and that there are three forms of the body. So please bestow upon me the initiation of the Heruka. So having made the supplication, and the deity which is in front of you, which is in the form of the male and female consort, and from that a replica rises and stays on the crown of the disciple, and from there, from the drops of their union, and it flows from your crown. And having done that, all your body will be filled with the nectar. And lays the potential for the generation of the Sambhogakaya Buddha in future. Next is the internal offering is given, and from the master's heart, from the syllable of the mantra. So please repeat the mantra. Om Shri Ha Ha Hong Sela Song Shi So. Om Shri Ha Ha Hong Om Shri Ha Ha Hong Sela Song Shi So. Om Shri Ha Ha Hong Om Shri Ha Ha Hong Sela Song Shi So. So your defilements pertaining to the speech is completed, eliminated here, and you have received the secret initiation. So the first you received the vows initiation, and now this is the secret initiation. Now visualize on your forehead. So this spot in the space between your two eyes, so it's similar to as what the Dzogchen tradition speaks about when you look straight from your eyes. So just in front of your two eyes, visualize a Hong syllable, which is white in color. So syllable, the visualization of the syllable Hong, and it's actually again formed by the three different syllables, which is the Ha syllable, E syllable, and the U syllables. So again, the composition of these three parts of the character or the syllable forms the character syllable Hong. So therefore, if we disintegrate all the parts of the syllable, then we will not be able to pinpoint or to find a Hong syllable. So, which is the Hong, whether it is the top or the center or the bottom, but we cannot find. So ultimately, it exists only conventionally, only nominally. Similarly, Chandrakriti speaks that having searched through the nature of the chariot through the 7 modes, then we will not be able to find the nature of the chariot. So it exists only conventionally. So it is known non-conventionally. So if only from that perspective it is able to be of benefit to it, it actually does its function. So therefore it exists. But if we are further examined and to find that object which does the functions, its own function, then we won't be able to find it. So the Hong syllable again, which is 3 syllables from the body of the Hong, then it rises further to the head of the Hong syllable. So to summarize it, when we speak about the Hong, this is again compositional factors, which is combined with the 3 different parts, and visualize that there is not even a single objective presence in the Hong syllable. So having such visualization, meditate on emptiness. So when we meditate on emptiness in this way, we will not able to put our finger to any objective findings in front of us. As Lama Umapa said that this is the way how we have to bring our mind to and consider it as the nature of the things. There is no other way. Otherwise, things have to exist and it appear to us. But things do not exist when we further find for their reality. So appearance does not guarantee their existence. So they are also not non-existence because they make a difference in the daily vows. So what is the mode of their existence is only by nominal, only by designation. So they do exist only by nominal or designation. So this is the nature of their existence. So please meditate on emptiness for a moment. So with that, all the defilements pertaining to our body and speech and mind are cleared, and we have received the 4th initiation. So the 4th initiation here is actually the combined and the indivisible of the 3 body, speech and mind. For the ordinary person at this level, of course, we do have a different state of the body, speech and mind. But when we attain the union of the bliss and the emptiness at the time of enlightenment, so it can be conceptually only separated or distinguished, but substantially they are all same at that moment. Even at the very foundation or the base level, the very subtle form of the mind and its wind energy, so they reside as one. And they rise in the form, the wind energy, which is the rise in the form of the form body, and the very subtle mind rises in the form of the wisdom body of the Buddha. At this level, for us, the very subtle mind and the very energy within, the presence within us is actually covered by all the defilements. And with this practice and the trainings, so we will be gradually able to clear those obscurations, so that the very nature presence of the subtle mind and the wind within us will become clearer and clearer. So this is the union of the bliss and happiness, which is referred here as the fourth initiation. And this ritual cake, which is actually the form of the Manjushri, which is referred to as the Dangye, when the master keeps on your head. So we visualize as receive the long life empowerment, and also the nectars and the love for the long life of your Chitta. So with this, you were given the initiations of the eternal life, and it actually destroys and kills all the harms and obscurations for your longevity. And with this, all the life and also all the magnificence and other facilities arises within you, and then you receive the initiation, which is actually the initiation for the long life. So then you are also given the precious pill. Next is the vows. So the deity of the vase is again dissolved in the form of the light, and which is again manifested as the feet of the long life and given to the disciples. And this is the same repetition of the verses done before. So maybe receive the Vidyadhara initiation.
Oh yeah. Then Kabbalah taught this.
Next is the holding by Kabbalah, the skull cup, which is the front. I think this is the rear side.
Kabbalah taught the Kabbalah. Reduction chum Lama Umapa, Yum Dojin Nejo Mane,
Now the skull cups deity, which is again in the form of the light, that is given to the disciples in the form of the blessings. And the next, the same supplication is made. One verse supplication. And the nectar is given on your left hand. So with that, both the precious pills and the nectars were already distributed. This is making supplication. Please repeat. Chumda dala zala. Chumda dala chinjelo. Chumda dala zala. Chumda dala zala. Chumda dala chinjelo. Chumda dala chinjelo. Chumda dala zala. Chumda dala chinjelo. Chumda dala chinjelo. Repetition for 3 times completed. So having placed this Dharma on the head of the disciples, we have to visualize that all the deities are dissolved into the form, dissolve into the disciples, and having the dissolution of the deities into our body, speech, and mind, visualize that our body, speech, and mind and the deities' body, speech, and mind become one. And as we spoke before, so the natural body of the Buddha is ever radiance, and so on. This is actually speaking about the very Buddha nature presence within us. So we do have the fundamental nature of this Buddha nature presence within us, but due to the factors and the accumulations of our faith and so on, so we will be able to rise. So these actually initiations becomes a force or a factor for arising within us these other factors.
Oh yeah, that's the name.
So till here, from the Manjushri Cycle of Teachings, the White Heruka long life empowerment in the form of blessings has been completed here. So we have completed all the teachings of this year here, and a lot of people have assembled from different countries and from different places, and we have also did the recitation of the Heart Sutra in different languages. So at this sacred place, and by our gathering here, of course, we have gained a lot of accumulated a lot of merits. So may all these accumulations of the merits, as the Manjushri in the past has did the dedication prayers, so similarly, whatever the small merits that we have gained here, so as the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas has dedicated, so similarly, please visualize and dedicate in the same form as them. Please repeat after me. Please recite with us. Kala Chodonga Bade, Dadi Devezo, this is the dedication verses. So the Tibetan people have a special connection with Charisic, so please recite this. It's a mandala offering. This is offering for the talk.
Tantra. Call it. Ah. Karsa. Oh, Jiku. Alehon, did Oh, Nambaja was a digit, Tomatama maybe chop. Semba doji, Shira, she does about Tantra.
Now, these are the concluding rituals for the songs of the Vajra song.
도지 셔무소 도지 냠다 더로 심지 군지 이게고 심지 군지 심지 군지 여연이 담지 저게 더와 초 수보지도서 다시나 차도 디스텐션
So the general public
아다 이즈남 이제셔베 샤텐데 커사 가 어디로 저기와
So please recite the Rabjam Gyawama, the prayer for the long life of His Holiness, composed by Ling Rinpoche. This is a long life prayer of His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama, composed by the two teachers. So I hope that we will get some time in the future for continuation of these initiations, and I'll also more teachings for the public. And I'm planning that we will meet again after 1 year here in Bodhgaya. So we have a tradition of offering our master about what realizations and the practices that one disciple did. So next year when we meet, we also need to have some kind of a session where the disciples presents the master. So I wanted to tell about my own stories when my two teachers were there. And I present my masters about my understanding about the emptiness, and my teacher told me that very soon you will be a space-like master pertaining to the understanding of the emptiness. So at that time that of course I was able to do the good presentation. So similarly, next year, I think there is no time, but from your mind, so when you see your masters in front of you, so with a great heart and also pride within you, that whatever the teacher has given guidance, I have practiced day in and out. So when I see the master with a great rejoice and also a pride within you, so you are able to present your realizations in the practice. So this is very important. So if you receive a lot of teachings and if there has not been any changes in your mind and your heart, then it is not beneficial. Of course, you have to make effort. So effort leads to change in you. So you have to make an effort. So next time when you see your master, after making such an effort, having received so many initiations and the teachings, and through my practice, so you should be able to present that compared to the last year. So this year, there is a certain transformations and a change happening in my thinkings and so on. So if this continues for 1 decade and 2 decades, so generally there will be a positive changes. So generally we say that something, the Kadamba masters say that something which we change that we cannot imagine that may happen in 100 years, but if you make effort, it may happen much sooner than that. Though it may be a very difficult thing, but once we train and make effort, slowly it will bring the change. And the process and how which you have to rely on that to bring that change is relying upon the 3 wisdoms that we discussed. Wisdom, again, developed through listening to the teachings, then contemplations, and ultimately reflections and meditating on it. And as I say, it has been around 70 years since I've started meditating on emptiness. And the initial taking on emptiness came through my tutor, Ngudup Sonyi. At that time, I think when it comes to the Bodhichitta, the altruistic mind for enlightenment, I felt it was very difficult. Then I studied the Bodhisattva Avatarya, engaging in the deeds of Bodhisattva by Shandadeva with the foundation text of the Omarinjin Tengwa by Nagarjuna. So, and I also studied myself and gave a lot of discourses to other people. So it has been around 40 to 50 years. I have made a lot of effort. And I'm here to tell you that, of course, once you make a continuous effort, there is a change happening in you. And it is the nature of the law that if you make effort, then change will come. So please keep that in mind. And whatever the teachings that we receive through listening to masters and by reading, so those kind of teachings have to be put forward into your practice. When it comes to the Lama Tsongkhapa's traditions, also in the dedication prayer, that we found that whatever we have studied, we put it into practice. So the practice, then we dedicate for the long life. So this is all. Thank you all so much. So please recite the flourishing of all the teachings of the Buddha.
Ranju Sowa Yongdang, Simjian Pongba Tabes, Yuren Damba Bajuji, Bodang Bomo Chumadang, Nodang Langjin Shinda, Pijan Chanju Chedang, Damba Yuren Bajuji, Dagi Sangye Ransangye, Nyendu Padang Mada, Tansong Dala Chujebe, Damba Yuren Bajuji, Gyawa Chewa Tuma, Tongai Naso Nyongjuji, Chanju Dundo Tusebe, Damba Yuren Bajuji, Dagi Zudun Tushudang, Kadu Yuren Tenji, Choju Sanje Neche, Damba Yuren Bajuji, Dang Zundu Dang Denbe, Dado Denjen Bar, Simjen Tamche Jedendo, Daden Yuren Bajuji, Sudu Dado Denje, Simjen Nyamo Nyamai, Simjen Yesu Jeyebe, Damba Yuren Bajuji, Tenzin Kange Jeneba, Kombe Dedu Dagen, Damba Yuren Bajuji, Yishi Dendo Dagen, Kado Nada Denje, Denje Doma Nedembe, Dage Damba Bajuji, Sewa Yui Shada, Sowa Yongso Danjuji, Halanyela Dangwai, Chuzu Namba Pejuji, Dangwe Digbe Simje Na Chambe Sewa Minjuji, Tewa Sumla Ragwe, Chuji Chuji Gejuji, Dangwe Digbe Shirana, Simje Dangwe Letu, Yangda Dala Gujebe, Dangwo Dangwa Pejuji, Dagi Simje, Pejuji, Dagi Pede Pamjebe, Dagwo Yuren Nejuji, Dagi Mude Chishenda, Dagi Chule, Yangda Dala Gujebe, Dagwo Dado Gujuji, Yuren Damba Bajuji, Chuji Yabo Songa, Chuzu Namba Pewa, Peje Sama Shiva, Tenje Malu Zangwa Shu, Datan Shinji Dusunda, Jeve Sonyela, Gyawa Losan Jabai, Tenba Yuren Bajuji.
So here completed. So tomorrow is a long life. And we have completed long life puja. So the Central Tibetan Administrations, which is the representative of all the Tibetan people, so they have arranged for the long life offering for His Holiness, and also from the Namgyal Monastery. So there is no time for the individual long life offerings for different days, so therefore we combine all the long life pujas together. So the ritual is through the White Tara, and there is also the third organization, so Shagar Chwede, Shagar Ngashaba. So all your prayers and dedications are there, especially combined with the emptiness and the visualization, the Bodhichitta. So please so note that tomorrow is the long life.